then you feel less content? Or?
It's not necessarily just about teaching. If I haven't done something related to social justice work in the day, I often feel unsettled, or I feel like I wasted the day.
I see. Okay. Then what does it mean to be an advocate or activist?
I think of those two words a little differently.
Right.
I think for an advocate, it's speaking up for an issue or for a group of people who are marginalized. Maybe even if I myself am marginalized, speaking up for that, I could be an advocate. I think being an activist means, I think there's an additional layer of vulnerability in being an activist. One of my mentors once said that the measure of activism is vulnerability. How vulnerable are you willing to make yourself to accomplish some goal toward justice? So I always link activism with vulnerability, and it doesn't have to be physical vulnerability. It could be professional vulnerability. It could, I think of the people over in Odine who basically created a situation where they had to leave because they saw themselves as activists on campus, and they weren't willing to. They weren't willing to lower the integrity of their activism, but the institution didn't see them as activists. It saw them as managers of the institution. So I think activism is about making yourself vulnerable to create positive change.
Okay. So do you see yourself more activist rather than advocate?
I think I do both, but I think of them differently.
Right.
Like these grad students in the Master's Social Justice. I think there are times when I advocate for them and they're struggling, and I have to go to Meredith Lair, who runs the MAIS, and say, I know this is the rule, but this student, we need to be a little flexible. I think that's advocacy, and I think I do that well. Activism would be maybe looking at the underlying issues that are creating the challenges for the students and trying